What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video, and it's been a little while since I made a video, literally since the Leafs were eliminated from the playoffs. So if you're new here, you guys know that trade rumors and rumor videos in itself, and who's getting fired and who are they going to sign, everything, the off season, this is the channel to be at. You guys know that's my thing. I've been doing it for years. Am I sad that the Leafs are eliminated? Of course. But am I excited to make some content based around trade rumors and stuff like that? Definitely. So make sure to like and subscribe. All you got to do is check my channel in the past. I'm very consistent when it comes to this stuff. And there's going to be tons of videos. I've already thought of tons of videos that we have to make regarding these topics. Also, make sure to click the link down below. Check out the QAG Queensway Automotive Group if you need a new or used vehicle. Go talk to the guys over there and they'll help you out for sure. But yeah, I definitely need to start off by saying I needed to take a couple days because I didn't want to talk about the officiating. I didn't want to talk about what the Leafs could have done. They just lost. And when they went down 3-0 in the series, it was right. It was right there. We knew that it was going to take an absolute miracle for them to come back and win that series. Now, should it be a miracle? No, because teams go on 5 or 6 game winning streaks all year. What's for, right? The Leafs have done it before, winning streaks. They just won their first round. Hey, they've got the confidence. But they folded like a cheap table. And they went down 3-0 in a series that they should have won. Florida outplayed them. Did they lose the series because of officiating? No. That last game, officiating was absolutely beyond terrible. Was the puck in? Yes. Stop. Just don't even say anything else. The puck was in the net. But who cares? They lost again. 3-0 series deficit. That's just it. They put themselves in a massive hole. The big stars didn't come to play. William Nylander was the only one. And what's crazy is that he might be the one that gets traded. Now, we'll get to all that because, guys, I'm not even joking. I already have like 50 video ideas and a bunch of different topics that we're going to talk about here because there's so much information coming out. There's so many tweets coming out about Dubas, the core four. There's so much coming out. Let's just start off by looking at this season as a whole. They had another great season during the regular season. Second seed, home ice advantage. They got to the playoffs and they actually won a round. The first time in 19 years. Do you guys remember that excitement? That power that you felt? I wasn't even nervous for the second round. I didn't care if it was Boston or Florida or anything like that. I didn't care. I wanted Florida more. Let's be honest, we all kind of did. But I wasn't like, they're just going to lose. I was like, they got a chance. This team is good. They're a contender. They're going to do it. And then they just literally played like shit. Pardon my language, but they did. They played awful. And there's no way around that. They just didn't play well. And it was crushing. And now there is a ton of unanswered questions. Can this core four stay together? Is Matthews and Nylander getting contract extensions by July 1st, or are they getting traded? Is Mitch Marner getting traded? Are they going to make John Tavares waive his no-move clause to get moved? What are they going to do with Matt Murray? Are they going to re-sign Ilya Samsonov? There's a million questions that I want to answer in one video, but I can't. And that's why I'm going to do it over the next, month or so. I'm going to have a video up almost every single day talking about this stuff. So it sounds like a cheap plug to like and subscribe, but I'm serious. There's going to be a ton of conversation, and I want you guys to be involved big time. So please like and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate that. Like I said, this is my bread and butter. I do this. I love the trade rumor stuff. And I actually have a couple legit sources. Like, I have people that I can actually go to that won't BS me. Sometimes I can't talk about it, but I can they tell me to say it in a way where I won't get them or myself in trouble, basically. But when I tell you I have legit sources, I've made some connections with people that have broke a ton of things before. I just can't say so much. I'm not going to come on here, and I don't want you guys to believe me saying I have sources. Trust me, that's okay. But let me just tell you, I have that little tiny bit of intel on small details. And sometimes it ends up coming true. But there's a lot that needs to happen here. Is Sheldon Keefe losing his job? Is Kyle Dubas leaving the Leafs? Because what people seem to forget is that Kyle Dubas is actually now a free agent. And what he said in the press conference is telling. Kyle Dubas says he will work in Toronto or take some time off. Says he has to talk to his family about their feelings after the stress of this year. There's a lot of pressure. Kyle Dubas needed to win a round this year, or at least make progress in the playoffs and be a contender. And they won a round. They did. But there was a lot of stress knowing that this was his last year, potentially. And Dubas basically just said, if I'm not in Toronto, I'm not going to be in the NHL. So I'm thinking Dubas is probably back. Shanahan's going to be back, but I'm not sure about Sheldon Keefe. And I want to make a whole video on this in itself because I want to do more research. I want to maybe see if I can get some info. I want to see if I can bring somebody on the channel that will have some info. And I want to really talk about these things. Like, I'm really going to be working hard on getting a lot of people that know the inside scoop on these things, what they're hearing, what they're thinking. Because this is very, very difficult. This is a huge decision that the Leafs need to make. This next step is very important. If they lock up Austin Matthews, okay, that's great. But what happens if they don't get that extension done? What happens if they don't extend William Nylander? What happens if Mitch Marner ends up getting traded? There's so many things and there's so many ways that this Leafs team can go that I think there's a million ways that we can talk about this and make videos on and just talk about all day until we're blue in the face. We already bleed blue. We might as well just be blue in the face. There's a ton that can happen here. It's going to be scary. It's going to be a wild ride, but there's going to be a ton of stuff to talk about. And this could make or break this team. If you make the wrong move now with one of these massive forwards and you take a step back and then that player goes on and is successful in a different system, everybody loses their job. So now some people are going to lose their job, but it might get to the point where everybody does. I don't know what to think because there's teams lining up. Elliot Friedman has already said that there's teams lining up for Dubas' services, and that if William Nylander hits the open market, that teams are already thinking that he's going to become available. And there's going to be a lot of them willing to take him on, no pun intended, because he was fantastic. He had a career year, and he was the guy that stepped up again in the playoffs. Was he fantastic in the playoffs? No, but he at least showed up. I don't know what to think. And I don't mean to take a line from Dangle when he was talking about Phil Kessel years ago, but it feels like an era wasted. The door and the window is still open, but how open is it? Who's going to stay here? Who's going to go? And how much will it affect the team going forward? The Leafs winning a trade for one of their big forwards is going to be so difficult. And I can't wait to talk more about it. There's going to be a bunch of videos on this channel where we're going to talk about stuff like this. I'm going to post stuff about Sheldon Keefe probably tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about Dubas in the next couple days. I'm going to be talking about individual players. I'm going to be talking about individual trade rumors. Everything that you can think of. This is going to be your Leafs hub for news and rumors. No doubt you're going to enjoy the content on here. Just check out my stuff from the last few years. Unfortunately, we have to make these videos every summer where we're like, what do they do now? And that time has come again. So if you're new here, like, subscribe. What do they do next? Leave it. Sound off in the comments down below. I love you guys. Peace.